of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Just a reminder for everyone to silence their phones, please. I'll do the same. All trustees are present. I'll entertain a motion for the approval of minutes for September 17th, October 15th, and October 30, 2024.
So
Moved by trustee Peets, second.
second.
Second by trustee Winston. Any additions, deletions, questions? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Treasurer's report.
Hello, everybody. Now, you should have had an opportunity to grab everything downstairs. Projections were done, reports are added to the file, to the folder on Google Drive. The summary is here. If you have any questions on anything, let me know. Number 2 is the tax collection, which we went through last, I believe it was last meeting to finalize the paperwork. Shows that we took in $6,490,872, or 92% of the total that was due. There's 91.8 last year, so it's about the same. We returned $565,562.28 on 336 parcels that were not paid in full. Interest and fees was $40,308.28. So in, I believe it's February, we will get a check for $605,870.56. Pretty much the same as last year. I did place copies of the unpaid roll in your mailboxes for you guys to look at if you have any questions. Comptroller's office has notified us that the bills for the pension were available, so I've got them printed out, ready to go for December 15th. The ERS is 466,856. That's a 17.6% increase from last year. The police and fire is 746,154, which is a 14.5% increase from last year. Utilizing the prepayment option to pay it in December, we're going to save just over $8,700. Sales tax came in for our first quarter, which was $596,974. It's $18,919 or a 3.07% decrease from the same period last year. We kind of talked about this, how things are kind of start leveling out. We're going to start seeing these kind of numbers kind of fluctuating now. We had budgeted the same as last year, which is $2.35 million. Made a debt payment on the water treatment plant upgrade. Just the interest was $9,900. The hydrovac truck debt payment was $105,123, and the street sweeper was $45,738, all due October 15th. And just to know that the water treatment plant bond will be coming due here soon. We've completed April 2026. I think the street sweeper, we've got about 3 more years, I think, 2 or 3 more years as well. The gas report statements are underway. EFPR Group is our new auditors. They're going to be conducting the internal controls and I believe also the financials the first week of December. So they're going to be here all week. And they are confident, even though it's going to be a single audit this year, that they should be able to have us back on the normal schedule of having it ready by that February meeting. So that's good to hear. Next is the action items. I have 2. First one is the fire foreman and the mayor requesting to transfer $2,300 from the general fund contingency account to the code office contractual account to pay the bill for the engineering work that was done in the parking lot, Water Street, between Gristmill and Mountain Rocks.
No,
Mercantile.
It's the mercantile. Entertain a motion for that. Moved by trustee Simpson, second.
Second.
Second by trustee Peets. And the engineering report was done and was shared with both of the meetings. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
And the last one is the police chief is requesting to utilize the additional $1,000 received for their Walmart grant
trustee Simpson, second.
Second.
Second by trustee Winston. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thanks, Kevin. Okay. Moving on to committee reports, code.
I'll just say we had a great meeting. With the group that the mayor set up. Aaron did a wonderful job. What he's looking to set up, and I think we've made a lot of headway already.
Yeah, I think we were very productive for the first meeting.
For the first meeting, there was nothing but business, and for sure, I was happy to see that, so.
I spoke with Mr. Manning, I know Mr. Manning pretty well, he was both impressed and shocked at everything, for sure. DPW?
I don't have anything other than what Marty sent out. Do you have anything?
Yeah, I just got a couple things to add to, anybody have any questions on the report I sent to you? I was finally able to meet with the outfit that did the inspection of the Bauer Street Water Tower, and an estimated repair and, recoating right now, today, is $2 million. Obviously, another year, it's gonna be more than that, so just ballpark figure there. Next, I sat down with Casella and talked about the agreement that we had to sign for the sludge removal. Price is going up, obviously. So, and I think we talked about this a couple of years ago. I think Belvis needs to start looking at possibly putting in a facility that we can process our own sludge. Because it's, right now we're spending over $100,000 a year to get rid of sludge. Well, you figure it out, we gotta spend $2.6 million to put in a unit. I mean, you can, it's another one of those things, that this is the future. I mean, everything's gonna keep going up, and more things that you can do in-house to take care of those costs. I mean, it's just, because it's gonna get out of control. I mean,
Thank you.
yeah.
Economic development, anything to report?
Just was in contact with Justin Cardinal. They are opening a coffee house on Andrew Street, so they have a tentative opening date of right before Christmas, so they're heading to the home stretch over there.
I think everybody's heard whispers, maybe here and there, and give us some more information. The Stewarts is looking to relocate too. I don't know if that's a,
They are.
Yeah, they went to the county planning, and they got some recommendations, I believe they're scheduled to be in front
They're
of our
going to be,
tomorrow.
they'll be setting up in front of our boards, so there's a couple of zoning variances, small things, nothing, no huge obstacles in the way right now, so.
Great. Hopefully they can find a purpose for the building that they're leaving on North Main. It's a good location.
yeah, definitely.
Emergency services, rescue, basically when we met last time, we went over some concerns with, E5 and, their employees that they send to us for their shifts. And obviously, we'll talk about it later, but also the surplus crash truck we discussed and putting that up for auction, coming up with cheaper alternatives. So that's rescue. Fire?
Nothing to report other than there's, personnel item. Business.
Police?
I would like to just address the board with one quick thing. From the paper, I don't know if you guys all saw the 3 officers that were awarded the meritorious conduct award, so I just wanted to give a quick recognition of those 3 officers, Mike Flynn, Garrett Kilgore, John Smith. They were called on July 17th to a structure fire on Center Street. Upon arrival, the building was pretty full of smoke. They knew there was a bunch of people in there, so they, with no hesitation, went into the building, got every single person out of the building, ended up having to go down this complete smoke-filled hallway, and were able to drag another person out to get that person some assistance. And we just want to make sure everybody in the village and the board knew their heroic efforts from that, and that we're extremely proud of them.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
amazing.
A nice article in the paper regarding that as well.
Congrats.
Forgive us, no pressure, but job well done as usual, those guys are outstanding.
Trustee Pete's, Administrator Chatland, and myself were at interviews this week, and there will be action taken later under new business.
And rec,
Okay, some old business, once again, I got a thing, thank you for going, because I was at the fire academy, so I was not able to go. Old business, Massena figure skating, minor hockey, has some upcoming tournaments. Play for Your Cure girls tournament was mid-October, they raised about $4,000, 23 teams participating, all the way from Oswego and Ithaca. Mike's Jamboree was Saturday the 26th. They had a few local teams, approximately 28 teams in total. Public skating's been open already a few times. Holiday skate sponsors. They had a few donations coming in.
Okay.
Thank you.
Under new business, there's a new futsal program. That's a new indoor soccer program offered to youth in grades 1st through 12th grade this winter. Details and sign-up information will be posted soon. As we've talked about before, the parking lot over there is in need of repair, so Mr. McCabe is in the process of figuring out the next steps for that. The MCS hockey season tryouts have started, games and tournaments are already scheduled, so hopefully people can support those games again. The concession stand is doing well, because I know we've talked about that over the years. It is up in revenue, and it is a great service provided, so hopefully we can continue with that. And also, just want to mention that Major Stephen Brothers is a veteran who died in Afghanistan, and his family donated 6 hours of ice time on Veterans Day. So thank you to his family.
thank you guys, appreciate it. Next up is the initial public comment period. Please remember to limit your comments to roughly 3 minutes. And also, please remember, when you're addressing the board, please address the board, not an individual. And also, the calling out of individual employees is prohibited, and I won't allow it. If you have a problem with the police department, stay with the police department. We are not calling out individual employees. They work too hard and do too good work to be criticized publicly for their efforts. So anyone wishing to address the board here, present first. Yes, Mr. Lucas.
I'd like to ask if there's anything in the budget for upgrading the surveillance cameras around town?
Not this budget. It is something we are seriously contemplating for the next budget. As a matter of fact, I had asked Chief Olson for, what's the term I'm looking for? Estimates. Thank you, estimates. And I haven't heard anything yet, but hopefully in the transition with the new chief, we can work on it.
I have one other question.
Sure.
Is there anything in the ordinance of the town wandering around disguising your identity?
You mean the village?
Yeah.
Uh,
I'll give you an example. My wife and I were having coffee this morning. I observed a guy coming across the footbridge, and he's on an electric bicycle, carrying a bicycle on the other shoulder with an electric razor. He's got a helmet on. He comes across the footbridge, he dumps one of the bikes back in the brush, and he leaves. And from what I've witnessed, there's a lot of bicycles coming into my neighborhood. Excessive amounts of bicycles, and I don't know where they're going to or where they're coming from. So anyways, the policemen come down to investigate. We pulled the bike out. We head back up the street. The kid comes walking down the street with a helmet on, talks to the cops and leaves. He's not on a motorcycle. He's got a full face helmet on. You can't tell who the guy is. So I'm sitting there having my coffee. I'd open up the neighborhood watch site, and here's a picture of this guy going through people's neighborhoods on the other side of town. And they named him. I don't know if they're accurate with the name, but apparently this character is all over the place, doing whatever he wants, all hours of the night, and then he doesn't even get questioned as to, I don't even know.
Well, I suspect he's been questioned. If the police saw him, they're aware of him.
Is there an ordinance about
Is there a
disguising
law?
himself?
Cody?
So there's a law on the books, for like face coverings in businesses and whatnot, because they're concerned of people stealing whatever. However, that kind of went to the wayside with COVID, with masks. But out in the public, walking around, I mean,
I would encourage you, and I'm sure you did, Don, I would encourage you, if you see suspicious activity,
for sure.
call the police department.
They hear quite frequently from me.
That's
from
good.
Where I live.
Keep calling, keep calling. Thank you. Anyone else here? Go ahead, Jim.
Mr. Mayor, in light of the announcement made a couple of months ago, well, in September actually, where the town of Massena is gonna be liable for the $5 million pension fund payback to the state, over the sale of the hospital. Have you ever had any comments or conversation at all with regard to that with the town supervisor at all?
No.
No? I'm just curious, because of the 12,000 people that live in the township, 10,000 of those people live in the village. And you're talking about raising taxes, the possibility. I think you overrode the tax cap.
To us?
No.
Did you guys not? Okay, well, I know the town did. So it just, it seems odd that there was $20-some million given to the township by the state, the New York State health systems to pay off some of the debt, or I think all the debt that was remaining of that hospital. And I think in the tune of $386,000 for the next 30 years,
Yeah,
the
something like that.
township's gonna be strapped with. And it just really irks me that nobody's asking questions. Why? Where did the $20 million go? Not only $20 million from the state, but St. Lawrence Health Systems pumped in another $8 million. So why is the town of Massena, residents of the village as well, why are they gonna be strapped with this money? Who's asking the question?
That's a
On-
great
on where
question
the
for
money
the
went.
town supervisor.
Well, you know what, it falls on your shoulders as well.
Mhm.
Your fiduciary responsibility to the town and the village people lies on your shoulders as well. I'm surprised that there hasn't been any conversation with either you and her, or the state, or whoever. But in February, this is gonna commence, and nobody's talking about it. I mean, I talked to several people that were sitting on the previous boards, and they're all on the same page as to what happened. It's ugly.
Yeah, the town's gonna have a lot of explaining to do over that.
I don't think, I'm not gonna get into it tonight, but I'm gonna tell you, it lies on your shoulders just as well as
It
it lies
does
on
not
yours.
lie on my shoulders. I have nothing to do with the town budget.
As,
The only thing that we have to do in the town budget is our joint rep. This is solely something on that's the town board.
I think
To
as
try and
partners
put
in
that
this,
on the village is unfair and unjust.
it's just as much your responsibility. You represent the people of this community, and you should be fighting for the people of this community.
I do fight for the people of this
Well, I'm gonna
community.
tell you, it doesn't sound it, because
Well,
for the next
I
30
disagree
years,
with you strongly.
300, and taxes are
Once
gonna
again,
go up.
you try to
and
rehabilitate
then
your
taxes are gonna-
reputation at
please,
our
I've got my
expense,
3
and I'm
minutes.
sick
I've
of
got
it.
my 3 minutes. So the taxes are gonna go up. We're gonna be strapped with these folks for the next 30 years. And it didn't dawn on you to ask any questions to anybody.
Fred, can I say something?
Absolutely.
So I just, and I'm not on the town board, but someone reached out to me and there's a town property that someone's interested in, I pass that on to the town, and I spoke to the mayor about it. They went deaf on it. There's an opportunity for the town to alleviate some problems.
And
And
the
I'm gonna
problem
leave it
is,
there because it's, I was asked not to say more than that. Not by the town, but by an individual.
the problem is, Ken, it goes deeper than that. It goes
There was a
deeper.
solution that was given to them, and they shut it off.
Well, all I know, if this was a corporate sector, some heads would be rolling as to where $20 million went and how it was spent.
And they will roll in the next election, because that's where everyone has their say.
If that's your answer, then that's fine. If you can live with that and not be talking about it with representing the people of this community, if that's your take on it, then so be it, I guess, right?
Yep. Yes?
Hi. was just wondering, the property across from Jefferson School, I thought was owned by the village, like right by the projects right there, that little section, that square. Well, there's a for sale sign on it, I've seen all summer.
I don't believe so, no.
No, I just thought that that would be good for parking at Jefferson School, because it's really hard at pickup and drop off.
For sure, and that would be something that I think, I don't know if the school district would be interested in something like that. I know the big concern about that road with Bailey Road, of course, we have crossing guards there, would be the kids going across that street, but obviously the crossing guards there would help. But that is definitely something that the school board could take a look at, but no, we don't own that.
No, you don't, okay.
Mayor, I think if you check with the volunteers, they own that parcel. It was left to them by some family years and years ago.
Volunteers?
There was a for sale sign on it this past
It
summer.
keeps it there.
Massena volunteers, yeah, fire.
I just always thought that it was owned by either the town or village, that's all.
I can take a
And I
peek
didn't
at
know
this.
why it was up for sale when I saw a need, that's all.
Aaron,
That's news to me. I never
I
figured out
don't
which
think
one
that
it is.
we own that. I mean, there's a website that I'm actually searching right now, that Dank has, and it has all the property that's owned.
Is it Yelly?
Right there by between Victory, turn on Victory Valley, right there, that lot.
I just know my uncle shows up 40 minutes early to get a good parking spot.
For sure, for sure. As I look, if I see it throughout the meeting, I'll
Thanks.
let you know. Anyone else here wishing to address the board? Anyone online wishing to address the board? Do we have anyone?
I thought the people online, I just, don't know if anyone wants to talk. Oh, I just wanna point out, it's really hard for me to take minutes and respond to chats and everything else, so if you don't get to your chat, not ignoring you. But Ms. Skelly, I typically give the report on grants. Pretty much, I can answer specific questions. We have a lot going on. Core of the community, that's the smaller grant fund. That was $600,000, that's all been appropriated. There was a committee that was formed to review all of those, and designate the money once the applications were received and complete and everything was needed that we needed. We're working on, meeting with the state on Thursday to talk about the downtown enhancements and, streetscape and riverwalk projects. We're in the very beginning stages of creating an RFP for that. If there's anything specific, if you want to shoot me an email, I could go on and on for an hour, but, yeah. Let me know if you have any specific questions, either on here or via email. No? Guess not.
Seeing nothing on, we'll go on to old business. Before I do, I was on the Dank site, and I don't, it's not owned by the village. I see one lot on the other side of the street is owned by American Property Rentals. The other one is owned by the Federal Housing Authority, Massena Housing Authority. So no, it's not owned by the village for sure.
Okay, thanks.
New business. Moving forward. A proposed resolution to authorize the local government task force to enter into a tentative agreement with the New York Power Authority. I'll entertain a motion.
Could you explain that, please,
Yep.
before you?
Entertain a motion. Moved by trustee Pete, second.
One second.
Second by trustee John. So the local government task force, our representative was Mr. Alfeld and myself. And in essence, guys, this is the review of the licensing agreement. Now, I realize not everyone, nobody was entirely happy with the original one some 20 years ago, but what people have to remember is the language in that only allows for a review. It's not a renegotiation. That being said, there are a few things that are going to happen. And I did bring basically everything that's going to be brought forward under the new terms of this renewal. Emergency response funding will get $490,000, and that'll be annually, and that's to any local emergency services. So our fire department will give what I believe is $8,000 a year, and our rescue squad will get $8,000 a year. Energy efficient projects, over the next 10 years, $1.5 million, and these must be completed by, looks like December 31st, 2031. There's also the EV chargers, if any institution wants one, that has to be done in location within 1 year of the effective date of the agreement. That's a conversation we need to have if we really want those electric vehicle chargers, because they're an expense. And the amount that people pay to use those doesn't necessarily cover it, but let's do some more research on that before we do that. But that's in there as well. There's shoreline stabilization to the tune of $2.275 million over the next 10 years. The Louisville River Course will get $750,000, and that's an estimate, not guaranteed. The high flow payments will be estimated at $7.158 million, but that's no change from the 50-year agreement. That's the same formula. They didn't change the high flow agreement. Other recreational activities, they're offered $1.6 million. On top of that, the Recreational Improvement Fund of $5 million. I believe that's the trail that will go from, I can't remember the name of the place, but I believe it's that landing out by Waddington, by the beach, and there'll be a trail connecting all the way through to Barnhart Island. And then market funding of $200,000, and basically Waddington, the village of Massena, the town of Massena, will sit down and come up with a plan of how to use that over the next 10 years. Comes to a total of roughly $15 million.
I know I sent you, a few emails, right? Just
Yeah.
So emergency services, it's important, right? It really, our departments here really cover 99% of what's here, right? Between what's on the river and the big sub. So with my profession, I work with them closely all the time, right? So I think we should just be focusing on how do we draw more monies for our emergency services, because if there's no power there, it's gonna affect a lot of people, right? I think it was whispered to me last year when I was with a certain individual that another fire department not in this area was getting a brand new fire truck.
We have our agreement for emergency services out there was signed in 2016, and the amount given to us hasn't changed. You were right, I think it's time that we sit down and to relook.
Their infrastructure out there is huge, right? And if there's one incident, it's a big deal, right? And Aaron can attest, even when I worked over there, we were out there, right? Their sub is huge. I don't know if you can't see it from South Racket, but it's huge. They're adding there nonstop. So there's a lot more going on than just what's at the river. So I think we really need to think, if we go out there for one call, $7 or $8 grand is gone.
It's gone.
It's gone, right? But we don't want, and they do a great job with safety. That's a huge priority with NIPA. They do a great job, but one small incident, even a wildfire like they have in Orange County, the money they're dumping in Orange County right now. If there was a wildfire out there, which could happen, right, until Thursday when it rains, right, they would be out there a long time. So I think we really, I don't know when the next time, you know, I probably won't be on this board, but we really need to.
The thing is, under the agreement, you can give 60 days notice that you'd either like to terminate, but I think the wiser thing to do is simply talk to the leadership out there and say, I'd like to sit down, and they've been more than willing to.
And it makes sense for our departments to continue work out there because we've worked out there for, what, 50 years, right? So,
Mr. Mayor, what's the annual contribution from the Power Authority to the village?
For the fire,
No, to the village. Under the
70,000
agreement.
in this agreement?
No, the original agreement, or the last, let's see, probably, what was it, 2014, as I remember. Do we have a, annual, I think it's 20 grand?
22.
Yeah.
22,000 annually from the Power Authority. And they net out there $1.3 million a day.
This is one where
It's
you and I,
ridiculous.
one of the few times you and I agree.
and that's where I'm going with this too, and this was the correspondence, right? They're relying on our emergency services to protect New York State. So I think it would be nice to get a little
And
something back.
I get it, Ken, but if you compare what the western portion of the state gets compared to what we get,
I
it's a
understand.
kick in the ass, put it bluntly.
That was a bad deal. in
Totally bad deal.
2014.
It was a bad deal in February, or in the 14th, when we had a chance to do something about it. And the community, your LB, whatever it is, they all folded.
Why is it mine, just out of curiosity?
I'm sorry?
Why is it mine, just out of curiosity?
No,
The task force?
the task force.
Just double check and see if I was gonna blame.
No, not, you're cool this time.
Okay, good, thanks, I appreciate it.
Considering Massena is the brunt of it, I know the other communities do, you know, they get some nice stuff.
We don't have the negotiating power. We have attorneys that walked away from the table, leaving us with empty pockets.
Don, you had a quick question?
Yeah, when you talk about the review of the Power Authority,
Every 10 years, yeah.
you can't update it, but during the review, is anybody pressing the Power Authority as to why they haven't fulfilled their commitment to make commercial land, or surplus land available for commercial development? That has not happened, and I can tell you, I had a proposal in, I went through the DEC permitting process, I went through the Army Corps of Engineers, I had all my permits in place. I had bought a camping trailer, I had docked, materials bought, I had contacted the sheriff, the border patrol, and the Massena rescue squads, telling them that that land would be at their disposal, and I had a neighborhood group shut me down. And all that land got sold to that neighborhood group for a song. Is anybody bringing that up in the
It's
review?
brought up in review, but again, when you, as Jim pointed out, when you have no mechanism to make the change, when there's really no mechanism for negotiation, it's,
Are they advertising that to commercial developers? Because I do know that when Gary Edwards was town supervisor, he told me that when my proposal hit the newspaper, they just about busted down the door trying to get vegetable growing business, water dependent businesses set up, but nothing ever happened.
I'll say this, a big reason why Air Products is coming in is because of the New York Power. There is an economic development branch, and the only reason Air Products is choosing here is because of the power deal.
That wasn't surplus power authority land, that was bought from an
I know,
individual
but
that
what
got
I'm
my
saying, Don,
business
is
shut
that
down.
I'm talking about they're only here because of the power allocation. I understand that they bought that privately, but I guess I don't wanna constantly pile on the power authority. To answer your question, no, I don't think they've done that. But I'm also gonna give them credit in them helping in terms of economic development by using that power.
It would be nice to have them, their feet put to the fire on them.
Imagine a nice hotel out there, but the intake, and
Trust
such,
me, they're not
boat
doing you any
slips.
favors.
It's a good plate, right?
Yeah.
So if they're doing-
I heard you look at the publication that's sitting on the shelf, Corrections for Change, that was put together by John Montan back in the seventies on, artist concepts of what those islands and all this area would look like. Some of it coming about slow.
This is a roll call vote. Trustee Peets,
Aye.
trustee McGowan,
Aye.
trustee Winston,
Aye.
trustee Simpson.
Aye.
Next up, entertain a motion for the appointment of Nathan Bressard for the fire driver firefighter effective December 11th, 2024.
That's all.
Moved by trustee Winston, second.
Second.
Second by trustee Peets. Nate, I think would be a nice addition. Nate's a Massena boy, played baseball for me, outstanding pitcher. I think he'll do a great job.
He was also one of the first individuals to do the job shadow program that we put in place over at the fire station years ago, pre-COVID.
Really?
Yeah.
Great.
You had them hooked then?
That's what he told me actually after interviewing with him. He says, you know, I totally forgot about that, but yeah.
Yep. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Be nice to have Nathan aboard. Next up, entertain a motion for the appointment of Graydon Griffin as a motor equipment operator. Moved by trustee Simpson, second.
Second.
Second by trustee Peets. Questions?
I know we were talking before the meeting started, Marty said this will make you full, right?
Yep.
That's excellent. So it's
Fine.
good, especially with the winter, 6 months away, right?
Yeah.
Someone picked up on that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Opposed? Motion carried. Next up, entertain a motion to accept the retirement of Chief Olson effective November 29th, 2024. Moved by trustee Peets, second. Second by trustee Simpson. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. True to his form, I'm sure he didn't want to be here for any accolades or anything along those lines. Chief's done a great job with the limited resources that he's had and the changing community that we're in right now. I think he's given his all, and it's a well-deserved retirement for him. Next up, I'll entertain a motion for the authorization to contract with Fire Tech for the sale of the surplus crash truck. Entertain a motion?
So moved.
Moved by trustee Simpson, second.
Second.
Second by trustee McGowan. So this is like, I guess you could say, we talked about this is the big equipment.
Yeah, it's a big equipment truck over there. This is the online auction site that's specific to emergency vehicles. It's a national auction site. It's actually a women-owned business as well, so we've dealt with them in the past, and
That was the old ladder.
the old E30.
Oh, 30.
30 was
30, I
the
remember,
ladder.
that's right, that's right. Yeah. You are still there, yeah.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Motion carried, excuse me. Next up, a report on the unsafe structure at 17 King Street.
Sheriff, our Mike Council is here tonight. He is the one that started this whole process. This, I hate to say it, kind of second verse, same as the first of some of these
Yep.
properties. Mike, when did we start with this?
May 30th?
Yeah, it was right about 6 months ago or so. We received, like, a report, received an initial call for alarm activation in the property. When we got to the property, we realized the door was wide open. Volunteers made their way around and noticed that all the ceilings had collapsed. When you guys see the pictures, that's exactly the way it's been. Since the first time we walked in there, tried to reach out to the property owner at that time, with no success. Kind of fell by the wayside for a little while. Got another call back there again for the same thing, and same situation, getting worse. Reached out to the my main concern is just, it's wide open and it flows electricity and water running to it. The potential for something else to happen, or for somebody to find their way in there and make a home. It's pretty great.
You know,
And folks, as we're staring at our computers, we're actually looking at the pictures. We got
do you know, maybe you, or Kevin, is it, have you paid your taxes?
I was wondering the same thing.
Oh, okay.
I'll tell you just a minute.
Did a little bit of research on that today.
I know you did.
They've been a little bit, the online's a little bit off, I think. The county said that it has been paid up until, I think, this last set, and it disappeared. We talked with the utility companies, and communication for them has dropped off as well. I'll have more specifics if the board decides to hold a public hearing at the next meeting.
So I got a question, I don't know if we've had this discussion with Mike saying there's live power there, which is definitely a safety concern for fire, police, EMS, and whoever. Can we have MED shut the power off? Do you guys deem that a,
I'm working on something.
Okay.
We'll leave it at that for now.
because I'm sure we can get the
Yeah,
water shut off tomorrow, but, when you.
I've had a lot of communications today.
You guys go in there for a fire call, the last thing you want is you guys crawling around and.
My opinion, I think our first option is, let's get this thing secured, like we've done with all of them, at least board up the first story, and let's hold that public hearing, hopefully you'll approve to do that tonight, and then we'll reach out again as many ways possible, we'll get the building placard and see if somebody shows up.
I'll entertain a motion to give the village permission to secure the property.
So,
Moved by trustee Pete, second by trustee McGowan. In other words, they're gonna go board it up, make sure nobody can get in and keep it safe, so. in that regard, secure the building.
Oh, they've had two, yeah, Mike has done two separate orders for revenue on this, and they come back on the road. That's it.
looks like there's a personal effects.
Isn't this a weird one? Yeah. In fact, I'm not sure where we came up with, we came up with another potential mailing address, and we went above and beyond and sent it out to that location, true, and came back to us.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Next, we'll need a public hearing regarding the building. And we'll have a public hearing to declare it
Unsafe structure.
unsafe structure. And we would have that at the next meeting, which is December 17th, and the public hearing would be at 5:30. Entertain a motion for that public hearing. So moved by trustee Simpson, second. Second by trustee McGowan. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Next up, I'll entertain the motion to accept the resignation of Christy Winston as village trustee. This will be effective November 30th, 2024.
Don't you dare.
I have to use the restroom, I'll be back.
Moved by trustee Simpson, second.
Second.
Second by trustee Pete. Christy, thank you for all the hard work that you've done. It's been an honor in serving you. You've been a mentor to me in my time on here, and it's, I also understand that life changes directions, and sometimes you get called in the other way, so.
Yeah, it's been my honor to be on the board for 6 years, and as you know, I have other endeavors to pursue, so it's time for me to pass the torch. But I appreciate everything you do on the board, Administrator Chatlin, everyone at Town Hall, all the departments, everyone that keeps everything running smoothly, so thank you to all of you.
And on behalf of the village board, a small token.
Oh, you shouldn't have, thank you so much. Thank you, that's so nice of you. Thank you.
While we're doing this, we might as well finish it up and also help. so this will be the last meeting for trustee Pete's. I will say, in my lifetime, I've made some bad decisions, I've made some good decisions, but appointing you was a great decision.
Thank
You've been outstanding. I can't thank you enough.
I hope to see you over there.
Oh, you'll see me over there.
Can we at least have a 12-month, it's on us.
12 months, no way.
Next up, I'll entertain a motion for the authorization to purchase a snowplow. Moved by trustee Pete, second.
Second.
Second by trustee Eames. Marty, this was in the budget, correct?
No, it wasn't.
Oh.
No. That's, I'm actually looking for an interfund transfer right out of the contractual into the, I'm confident that I have enough money in the contractual to move it right into the equipment. It's $8,380.
Okay, so we moved.
Right out of the 5142.
Okay. Any other questions?
Are you sure you asked that one?
That was. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. The last one, the appointment, if it's okay with everybody, we're gonna wait and do that after executive session. We'll have a brief executive session with the possible appointee, and then we'll come back out and take action after that. If that's okay with everybody.
Sounds great.
So that means we're on to the voucher warrants.
I'd like to make a motion that voucher warrant signed by trustee Pete's, myself, and Mayor Pickman are approved.
Second?
Second.
Second by trustee Simpson. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Some monthly reports, I think we've hit the permanent firefighters code. Squad, we gave that. Cody, you wanna give you the
Sure.
police report?
Yep, so for the month of October, the officers handled 886 incidents, with 20 traffic tickets, 42 traffic stops, 18 traffic tickets, 42 traffic stops, and then between the arrests, there was 45 individual arrests. The detective numbers, I still need to get, but I can reach back out to you.
That's it. Sure, thank you. Explore Massena? Yeah, it's in our. Okay. Communications.
Yes. It's Saturday, December 7th, Horizon Seaway Valley Prevention Council is gonna have the first annual holiday parade. We'll be traveling the same route that the Solidarity Day parade goes. There'll be floats, live entertainment, there's prizes, handouts. It starts at 5, ends between 6:37. If anybody is interested in participating, they should contact Horizon Seaway Valley Prevention Council for more information. Did I do okay? Okay.
Excellent.
Just
Super.
the Facebook page. Okay,
I
the
think-
Facebook page.
I think the community is gonna be very excited to have that tradition back again. For sure, thank you so much. Before we get into closing public comment, code, forgot about this, I guess you're probably gonna wish I forgot about it. Had an individual approach us about Airbnb, VRBO. I don't know what type of language we have. When you get a chance, maybe with your committee, take a look at it, don't need to talk about it tonight. I'm not looking for anything that would restrict this or make massive obstacles for people to have VRBOs and Airbnbs. I think when I bothered to look online today, on Airbnb and VRBO within the village, I think I saw 7 to 10 properties, if that. But, yeah, it was, maybe they should have a few things in code, maybe just some general regulations.
I think we could probably put that right in the zoning section.
Yeah.
It would just be kind of a simple, I don't wanna say simple, because not, creating code is never really simple, but a relatively easy addition to the zoning code is to locations of where permitted, not permitted type thing, if we want to go down there. you know,
Also, Rita Kern from the county reached out and was interested in the work that the new code committee is doing, wondering if then anything that the county can do to help. I told her I'd give her your number and you could give her a call.
Excellent.
Okay, super. Closing public comment period. Anyone wishing to address the board? Bob?
I assume you're gonna be appointing somebody to replace trustee Winston?
Yes,
Do you know when that'll happen?
at the next board meeting,
Do you have somebody in mind?
I do. Just hoping the person says yes.
So you're not gonna give a name?
I'm not, because the person hasn't told me yes or no.
Okay.
I can tell you, when I asked the person, I don't know if the person's a Democrat, a Republican, or an independent. I just thought this person would be good.
Good, thanks.
Any other public comments? Jim?
How you doing, Mr. Mayor? So, Marty, if I may.
Sure.
The concept of doing the sludge locally, in-house, it's a pretty good idea, I think. Are there other communities that have to ship their sludge as well, or?
Yeah, everybody, most, I'm gonna say probably majority of them do ship their sludge out, and the problem is, Mr. Heidi, is, it's kinda like Casella's the only gig in town, you know what I mean?
Right.
And when they walked in my door, like I told them, I said, you could have come in here and told me you wanted $1 million, there's nothing I can do about it, right?
Right.
But, I mean, they don't, the height and the rates is not ungodly. I mean, they understand that, you know, we have to pay these and they're trying to keep it in check, but it's just like anything else. Every year, you keep adding on this, you know, and eventually, you know, we have to now, as the village, we have to start passing those on to the user fees,
Right.
taxpayer.
And
Yeah.
and that would come right out of the water sewer fund,
Yes.
correct?
Yeah.
Which should have a lot of money in that. Would it be possible for us to take on other communities to do that? And have them pay us?
Well, it's funny, because, I mean, I've sat in some meetings now with some outfits that, you know, if we put in our own unit, whatever, then yeah, you would have that ability to take other people's and process it into a product that you could then sell to agricultural, and, so it's, and I know when I first started here, I know Mr. Fakeland, we talked about this, it's, you know, it's a healthy price tag to pay for a unit like that, but, in the long run, it's gonna benefit and it's gonna save the village money. But, you know, it's like anything, right? I mean, you gotta dive in and take that chance and do it. You keep kicking the can,
Right.
Other communities will start doing it, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
now you're trying to play catch-up, and,
No, I'll tell you, just, it's something we're to consider, because I think it would be a great opportunity for us to, I mean, it's not getting any better right now.
no, and like I said, we're paying $100,000 a year just to get rid of sludge, you know?
Yeah,
That's crazy, right?
it is crazy. Right. And that's the product that goes to Rodman, correct?
No, it actually goes to Grasslands, which is out in Chattagay, which Casella owns.
Okay.
But here's the problem with that is, if Grasslands is full and Casella can't get it into their own facility, we then have to take it to Rodman, and then Rodman says, well, Mr. Miller, you have to do all these new testing, because we need to know the product you're sending us. Now that costs us more money to do the testing and the lab work on the product, so it's just, boy, you can do something in-house.
Yeah.
That-
No,
Yeah.
probably a good thing to look into. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you for that.
Thank you.
Anyone else wishing to address the board?
Just one other thing. I know you guys wanna get to dinner, but Cody, the black unit that they used to put in front of houses that were drug problems and such, yeah, is that still around, or?
It is not operable right now, no.
Okay. It was a good deterrent, that's why I thought that. Do you see it coming up again, or?
I think there was, I can talk to you at a different time too about it, but it's, I think there was an issue with police reform the military look of it. But I think we still have it, but I think it was kind of written out due to that situation.
We do have it.
Yeah. But I can talk about it at a later time.
Yeah. Thank you.
Anyone else wishing to address the board? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to go into executive session for discussion of salary with a specific employee. So, moved by trustee Simpson, second. Second by trustee Brown. Also, I would like to invite Mr. Broadbent in with us, as he will be taking a spot on the board next month, so that he can address the case. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.